Welcome to Synapses. I'm Gökçe Özdemir, a biomedical scientist specialized in neuroscience, and Synapses is a bridge to make medical science more understandable for everyone. Today we're spotlighting an AI-driven revolution in biotechnology to understand how AI could reshape medicine, how it can predict the structure of life's building blocks, or what the future of AI-powered drug discovery looks like. For this, we're diving into Google DeepMind, its spin-off Isomorphic Labs, and their shared breakthrough AlphaFold. This breakthrough is so significant that it earned its founders a Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 2024, because AlphaFold cracked how to predict protein structures and how to design proteins computationally. If you're not already familiar with it, maybe protein structure prediction might sound a bit boring, but in reality, it's one of biology's greatest challenges. More on why that is a bit later. For now, AlphaFold dates back to 2018. It's an artificial intelligence system developed by Google DeepMind, Google's AI research arm, to predict protein structures. The development of AlphaFold later influenced the foundation of Isomorphic Labs to use this technology specifically for drug discovery. Both companies are subsidiaries of Alphabet Incorporated, and they work in collaboration, and the latest version of AlphaFold, AlphaFold 3, was their mutual product. This version doesn't just predict how a single protein folds into shape. It can model entire complexes, meaning it can predict how proteins, DNA, and even small molecules interact with each other. But what does this mean for you, for me, and the future of medicine? Well, stick around because this could be as revolutionary as the discovery of DNA itself. Just like every other episode, let's start with the basics to ensure you fully grasp the significance of AlphaFold. This means covering some biology and some artificial intelligence concepts. Let's begin with the foundation, our DNA. And later on, we will cover some AI concepts and how they will come together for AlphaFold. Think of DNA as a personal recipe book containing specific instructions on how our bodies function. This book, known as the genome, consists of DNA sequences. Each chapter represents a chromosome, and each recipe within a gene. We inherit 23 chromosomes from our mother, 23 from our father, forming 23 pairs of chromosomes. This redundancy is useful. If one parent passes down a faulty recipe, the other copy might still work. In total, we have around 25,000 gene recipes. But DNA alone doesn't cook anything. Instead, it transcribes its instructions into messenger RNA, or mRNA, which acts like a handwritten note taken into the kitchen. The kitchen, in this analogy, is the ribosome, a molecular factory that reads the mRNA and assembles the dish. The ingredients? Amino acids, which come together to form proteins, our final dish. Proteins are at the core of life itself. Every biological function, from how you digest food to how your muscles work or how you think, everything relies on proteins. But the process is a lot more than just making the protein. For a protein to work, it has to obtain a specific shape. It's not too different from how you have to serve what you cooked on a plate. The dish has to come together to serve its meant-to-be purpose. Similarly, proteins don't function as simple chains of amino acids. They have to finish cooking, and they have to fold into precise three-dimensional shapes to work properly. This folding process is where magic happens, or where catastrophe happens. If a protein misfolds, it becomes useless or even harmful, as seen in diseases like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's disease. Beyond just getting the shape right, proteins are also dynamic. The same protein can exist in multiple forms. It all depends on what the body needs. This variability arises through mechanisms like alternative splicing, which is editing the mRNA differently, and chemical modifications like adding molecules of phosphate groups, for example, onto the protein, and environmental signals like stress or diet. These modifications are tied to epigenetics, which acts like annotations in our genetic cookbook, marking some recipes as urgent and very important, while surpassing others. And if you're wondering why we care at all, understanding protein folding and variability is crucial because knowing a protein's shape allows scientists to design drugs that fit precisely into their targets. Just as a locksmith needs to see a lock to craft a matching key, researchers must know protein structures to develop effective treatments. Until now, determining these structures required costly, time-consuming lab techniques like X-ray crystallography and cryo-electron microscopy, sometimes taking years to solve a single protein. Now, imagine how much faster research could move if we could predict a protein's structure instantly, instead of spending years in the lab. And that's exactly what AlphaFold makes possible. It leverages deep learning and fast protein datasets to predict structures with stunning accuracy. So far, AlphaFold has predicted over 200 million protein structures, and the AlphaFold protein structure database makes this data freely available. With over 2 million users in 190 countries, odds are it has already potentially saved millions of dollars and years of research time. And this is not an exaggeration. What used to take scientists months and years to do, AlphaFold can do in a day. And that is nothing short of fascinating. To understand how exactly AlphaFold works, let's switch gears and talk a bit about artificial intelligence. AI is a broad field where machines perform tasks requiring human-like intelligence, such as recognizing patterns, making decisions, and solving problems. Machine learning is a subset of AI that allows systems to learn from data instead of relying on explicit programming. The quality of an AI model directly depends on the quality of its training data. Neural networks are a form of machine learning, and they're inspired by the human brain. They consist of layers of interconnected nodes, or neurons, that process information, recognize patterns, and make predictions. Deep learning takes this further by using multiple layers in neural networks, enabling them to learn intricate relationships in vast datasets. You can think of deep learning as a modern self-driving car with multiple systems working together to navigate the world intelligently. AlphaFold integrates all these AI principles. It uses deep learning with layered neural networks to predict protein structures based on amino acid sequences. So to predict a protein structure, AlphaFold follows a deep learning approach, and there are a couple steps that it follows. Just like any other AI system, you have to start with training the model. AlphaFold was taught how proteins fold using massive datasets of experimentally solved protein structures, which all came from the Protein Data Bank. It's a global repository of known protein sequences and their three-dimensional structures. Over 170,000 protein structures and sequences were used for this training to happen. With its training data, AlphaFold is capable of pattern recognition and can compare protein sequences across species to identify folding trends and the evolutionary history of proteins between species. It also uses what are called self-attention mechanisms. These are to detect which amino acids interact to shape the protein. This is like being in a crowded room and tuning into specific conversations while ignoring the background noise. Then we have the concept of iterative refinement. Instead of making just one prediction, AlphaFold continuously refines its output, generating multiple possibilities before converging on the most likely structure. This process resembles an artist sketching a portrait, refining details until the final image emerges. And finally, we have end-to-end learning. Unlike traditional methods requiring human-designed rules, AlphaFold maps sequences directly to structures. This is like a chef making a dish intuitively without needing to measure individual ingredients separately. And a fair mention goes to the immense computing power required to do this. Predicting a protein structure can use terabytes of storage, but this cost awards us with the ability to achieve near laboratory precision in the fraction of the time. So what does this mean for science and medicine? Imagine designing a new drug. Traditionally, researchers would rely on trial and error, like trying to unlock a door with a bag of random keys. AlphaFold eliminates much of the guesswork by revealing the precise shape of the lock. But AlphaFold isn't just for biomedicine. It can be used to engineer enzymes to break down plastic waste. It can be used to improve biofuel production and even to study how proteins behave in space. So it's clear that this isn't just a victory for biology, it's a massive leap for AI and Google itself. AI isn't just about chatbots and self-driving cars. It's tackling fundamental scientific challenges with direct human benefits. And with this success, Google is cementing itself as a major player in biotech, paving the way for collaborations in drug development, material science, and even agriculture. What excites me the most about AI and biology is seeing what happens when biologists and software engineers collaborate. For too long, top software talent was drawn to tech and finance, leaving biomedical research underfunded and understaffed. But times are changing. Soon, no major biological breakthrough will happen without AI's computational power driving the drug discovery, the drug development, and analysis. We're only scratching the surface of what's really possible. And in the near future, we may see personalized medicine based on protein structures or AI-designed proteins as targeted therapies for previously untreatable diseases. This isn't just changing biology. It's truly redefining how we do science. What once took years to complete in a PhD can now be done in seconds. Let me be clear. This isn't doomsday for scientists. It's actually quite the opposite. It frees up time and resources so that scientists can focus on the next frontiers of discovery with unprecedented momentum. We are standing at the edge of a biotech revolution, and one thing is clear. AI isn't replacing scientists, it's empowering them. And if there was ever a time to get into science, it's now. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and get excited for the future of medicine. Santé!